Did you understand in count one and in count two, you're charged with the offense of assault of a peace officer or judge? Did that advice include possible consequences such as deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States, or the denial of naturalization? All right, court is going to call 2023 CR 4343, State of Texas versus Luis Roberto Ramirez Rodriguez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Ruben Flores for Mr. Ramirez Rodriguez.
And are you Mr. Rodriguez? I'm sorry, Mr. Ramirez Rodriguez?
Yes.
All right, we have an interpreter here. If you could raise your right hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear you will faithfully translate from English into Spanish and Spanish into English, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, you may lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Norma Nero.
All right. Mr. Rodriguez, all of the documents I'm going to go over with you are in English. Were these explained to you in Spanish?
Sí.
Yes.
And counsel, do you speak Spanish?
Yes, Judge.
And do you speak Spanish fluently?
I do, Your Honor.
And were you able to communicate with your client in Spanish? Counsel, have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
I did, Your Honor.
Court will find Mr. Rodriguez, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it at all the appropriate places? Did you understand in count one and in count two, you're charged with the offense of assault of a peace officer or judge, bodily injury? That is a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison in each count and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you understand you have a right to jury trial? A right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand by entering this plea you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Ramirez Rodriguez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter these pleas?
No.
No.
Anyone promise you anything other than the pleas?
No.
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Sí.
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
No.
No.
All right, and do you believe he understands the immigration consequences of entering into a plea in this case?
I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Ramirez Rodriguez, it's the court's understanding that Teresa Coles Davila was appointed to represent you in this case to give you information about the impact a plea will have on your immigration status. Did you have an opportunity to speak with her?
Sí.
Yes.
Were you advised of the consequences of pleading no contest or guilty in the application of federal immigration law? Did that advice include possible consequences such as deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States, or the denial of naturalization? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on count one and two. Punishment is to be assessed at 3 years in the prison for count 1 and count 2. They're taking in consideration 2023 CR 11055, and there are no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
Did you review the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No such motions, Your Honor.
Then to count 1, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
To count 2, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence to support the defendant's plea.
Yes, Your Honor, did exhibit number 1, with all its attachments.
It's been reviewed, Judge, no objections.
All right, did you review the document entitled waiving consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty of counts 1 and count 2. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
With your permission, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, we'd simply ask that that you follow the plea bargain and that's it, Judge.
All right, the court will sentence you to 3 years in the prison in count 1 and count 2. Take in consideration 2023 CR 11055. Count 1 and count 2 will run concurrently, and the court will give you credit for any time served. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes.
Right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney, and you're not allowed to re-enter the United States unless you do so legally. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. Good luck to you.
Gracias, Dios la bendiga.
Thank you. God bless you.
Oh, thank you so much. God bless you too.
Que Dios lo bendiga.
Gracias, thank you.
All right, so then we don't have any cases for Friday. All of our trials have worked out. So we'll be back on Monday.
All right, hold on a second. Who's this guy staring at me over here?
I'm a co-plaintiff in the civil case.
Blandino has earned a dubious reputation for filing frivolous motions and joining civil suits where he has no affiliation.